All right, welcome everybody. My name is Blair. If you're joining us tonight, this is a Power of Peptides, which is a Zoom where we are going to be sharing tonight about the power of peptides and how they can heal and help you and regenerate. So, welcome to the Zoom. If you are joining us for the first time, we'd love for you to let us know in the chat if you're currently on a peptide. If you're not on a peptide, feel free to ask a question or share what made you decide to hop in here tonight to learn a little bit more. We would love to hear. Alicia, I was just about to say something, Alicia, about your 30 pounds because I saw it today on Facebook. Alicia just said in the comments she's on GLP-1, GIP plus B12. She's down 30 pounds today in 16 weeks. So amazing. Okay, I am actually going to decline somebody's note taker because last week it did not let the person record with that note taker. So sorry, whoever's that was. All right. Well, we are so excited tonight to be sharing a few different stories. If you're hopping on here and you're not really sure what a peptide is, a peptide is simply strains of amino acids that we already have inside of us. If it is 50 strung together or less, it's called a peptide. If it's more than 50, it's actually called a protein. And these are just short chain amino acids. And when you put them back into your body, much like bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, it's something that your body recognizes and it goes, oh, I know NAD. I've already produced NAD before. And then it's not foreign to your body, unlike maybe having to take a statin to lower your cholesterol. That would be foreign and then can cause other negative side effects. When you utilize peptides, it actually is healing and regenerative. And another really cool fact is the more peptides you stack on top of each other, the better and more healing it is. So we are so excited that you're joining us tonight, where we're going to be sharing a little bit about how peptides have helped us. And this is, all about preventative health. And when you think about preventative health and longevity, they really go hand in hand. It's great to live till you're 80 something years old or 90 something years old or 100, but it's even better to live where you're still enjoying life, where you're still able to get out and be active. When I think about my future self, I think about myself on the floor with my grandkids, having fun, being able to pick them up and take them to the park and being able to play with them well into my 80s and 90s instead of just being stuck and confined in my home, right? I want to be able to live vibrant and live healthy. And so I'll be sharing my story later tonight, but I'm so excited for you to hear from two other people tonight who have amazing stories and are going to be able to share with you a little bit more. Actually, both of them have just recently decided to, because they're so impacted by peptides, that they both decided to start sharing this to help others. So I'm so excited that they're going to be sharing tonight. First one is Beth Vazquez. She's the founder of Recess and Results, which is just an amazing program franchise where people can go and educate young kids on getting active and healthy and having fun in group environments. She's a wellness enthusiast, a wife, and a boy mom. She was born on a farm in Nebraska, but now she's living in Miami, Florida, right down the street from me. And Beth is one of those people that loves to help others and dream big. So, Beth, will you share a little bit about your story, about how you came to find out about peptides, what you've kind of already experimented with a little bit, and also a little bit about your husband, because it's a very interesting story about Manny.
Yes, definitely. So, hi everyone. Thanks for letting me be here tonight. So, I actually come from a background of fitness and wellness. It's what I went to school for. Actually, I started nursing school, and after 3 years, I quit and changed didn't quit. I changed my major to health fitness because I saw so many people sick that didn't need to be, and I really wanted to be on the other side. I wanted to help people prevent these diseases and these illnesses that were ailing them, because so many of them are preventable, right? And so I've always been on this path of wellness and fitness and just living an overall healthy lifestyle. And so we all know that the foundation of that is diet and exercise, right? And then there comes a point in life when diet and exercise just aren't carrying you as far as you would hope that they would anymore. So I actually have endometriosis. I was diagnosed with that in my 20s. Um, and it's been severe enough to be debilitating in terms of the pain and the symptoms that I would have. And doctors, they would always put me on birth control pills to help alleviate the symptoms. And there's, no cure and really not a lot we can do. So here's the pill. And I started doing more research of my own and started researching just more holistic doctors and wanting a different answer, essentially. I didn't want to take that as fact anymore. And so I started seeing a holistic doctor. And around this time, my endometriosis symptoms were bad. I was also having vertigo. I had crazy anxiety. I was having heart palpitations, probably from the birth control pills that were kind of whacking out my hormones. And long story short, my blood work was also showing not as healthy as I thought I would be based on the type of lifestyle I was living. So my inflammation markers, my CRP was high. I had higher liver enzyme, would like, not disease range, but higher than needed to be. And my blood sugar was also high for fasting level. And so my holistic doctor worked with me, and one of the big things that he started me on right away was glutathione. And it was a huge game changer for me. It really decreased the inflammation in my body. It's a master antioxidant. It boosted my immune system. It also really helped with my hair, skin, and nails. I was having trouble with my hair falling out at that point too. So it was just, I really noticed the difference a lot. And so I've been a huge glutathione ever since, and have told everyone that I can about it. It's a master antioxidant. I feel like everyone should be taking it. For me specifically, it helped with endometriosis and those symptoms that I was having. But for anybody struggling with, again, inflammation, or you really want that sort of detoxification, you want healthy skin and that anti-aging benefits, this can really help with that. And as I started understanding more about peptides and other supplements that are available, I looked into GLP-1s. And I am very conservative. So it takes me a while, and I need to see research to really kind of get on board with newer, methodologies. Although I've come to learn GLP-1 is actually not that new. It's been around for a really long time. And there's so much great research around it. So as I'm struggling with endometriosis, fast forward, my husband had a heart attack when he was 40, not long after we were married, and in that time also was diagnosed with a heart condition called HOCM, hyper obstructive cardiomyopathy, I believe is exactly what it's called. Anyway, it's a thickening of the heart muscle, and it really obstructs the flow of blood, so it can cause a lot of symptoms very similar to like heart attack symptoms. He would get shortness of breath, chest pains, tingling down the arm, the whole thing. And just in this last year, that condition has actually gotten worse for him. And he had to stop exercise. He's on a new medication for it. And praise God, the medication is helping. But again, we started diving into, okay, what else can we do? What other holistic avenues are out there? Or what else, how can we take this into our own hands versus just listen to what doctors are saying. Obviously doctors are great, and he has an amazing cardiologist, but there's always things that you want to advocate for yourself, right? You want to be educated, and you want to be able to bring these things to the forefront. So as I started learning more about GLP-1s, I started researching into the effects for the heart. And Blair actually shared some amazing research with me as well. And I've come to really learn that there are such incredible benefits for heart health, specifically for the condition that Manny has, in reducing the inflammation around the heart, even helping to potentially decrease some of that thickness of the heart muscle. So he's actually going to be starting on the tirzepatide as well. And I'm so excited for him. First of all, not being able to be active. He's a former baseball player, so not being able to be active really just is not him. It's not like him. He doesn't get to be his best self. And he gained weight, so he definitely wants to lose weight, but also we really just want to see the heart benefits that come from using this peptide. So we're a peptide loving family over here. We're all about it. We've definitely seen firsthand, how beneficial it can be, and are really excited for what's to come in the future with, how much better we can be feeling as we continue to stack peptides, as Blair was saying, so that they can really work together with each other.
Thank you, Beth. And I'm so excited, obviously, to watch your journey, but I'm really excited to hear
Yes.
Manny's too. I cannot
Yes.
wait to, as you unfold this on social media and share with everybody about all the benefits. So I can't wait.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm so excited to have Tia on here because her story is very impactful. You guys are going to hear. She is a mom of two. She's married to her high school sweetheart. She's a realtor in 30A, Florida. If you guys don't know where that is, it's like up in the panhandle of Florida, a beautiful area. And I'm so excited for Tia to share because when I heard your story, Tia, and all the things that have happened to you, I was just really excited. And I'm really excited that you decided to share your story with others to really impact and help them. And I know that it's going to be a large amount of people that are going to be healing and feeling better because they hear your story. So, will you please share your story with us?
Yeah, thanks, Blair. So my story, has some parallels like with Beth's as well. But basically, I have struggled with my health for a long time. I have Hashimoto's disease. I also have endometriosis. I've had chronic hives for years where I would wake up covered like all day, every day. It's been terrible. I had to have a hysterectomy at age 31 right after I did IVF and had my oldest daughter. And then since then, we moved from West Virginia to Florida. We were kind of thriving down here in Florida, except for the hives and stuff that are always there. And then we actually adopted a baby in 2023. She was born on my 40th birthday. And after that, things kind of just went crazy. I was in perimenopause and then starting over with a newborn and not having any family here. It's been like totally overwhelming and wonderful at the same time, but it kind of sent my body into overdrive. So, weight gain, exhaustion. I was living like a very active life out playing pickleball and walking and stuff every day. And now I'm a newborn mom again. So, 2023 was a very tough year. I ended up going on a girls' cruise in, I guess, May of 2024. And I had kind of stopped taking pictures of myself because I was very self conscious. I was always really skinny. And then all of a sudden, I had gained a lot of weight and I couldn't lose it. With perimenopause and everything, my metabolism completely slowed down. So when I saw my friends posting pictures of me on Facebook from that cruise, and I looked like very overweight old lady. Like I looked like I was pregnant in the pictures. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to do something about this." So I had heard about GLP-1s. I'd heard about semaglutide, and I had one friend that I saw was taking it. So I reached out. I started taking that. And then over the next year, I lost 40 pounds and was feeling so much better. And so then in June of this summer, I actually switched to microdosing trizepatide. I had a little bit of symptoms with the semaglutide, just a little bit of nausea. But I had heard that trizepatide also decreases inflammation even more than semaglutide. And since I still always had that Hashimoto's inflammation, I switched over. And my inflammation is so much better. I don't have hives. I'm not taking a nap every day with my baby like I was to make it through the day. I mean, honestly, a lot of you guys on this call actually know me and have known me for a long time. And you probably know that I was kind of famous for taking naps every single day. So now I'm finally not having a nap every day. But what really put it over the edge for me and made me start sharing, just a couple weeks ago, I had my annual appointment with my primary care doctor, and she reviewed my blood work and she does like this comparison of this year to last year and then to the year before. And the year before, they color code it. So, like, green means good, yellow is like warning, and red is like, oh no. So, in 2023, my blood work was like red. And she's like, we're going to have to start you on medicine for your cholesterol because heart disease runs in my family. My cholesterol was high, my inflammation markers were high, just everything. My body was like in stress majorly. And so this year, my numbers and the colors were like all green, barely any yellow that she's not even concerned about. So I'm not even talking about losing weight because that's amazing too. I'm very happy that I can now post pictures of myself again without feeling self conscious. I'll get to be in the family photos instead of just taking them. But my body is so much healthier. So now, my heart is healthy. I'm not as much at risk for heart disease, for a heart attack like I was 2 years ago. And I'm just so excited. I was like, I have to share this with other people because it's not just anymore about weight loss. Now it is about preventative medicine and being able to prevent people from having heart attacks, chronic hives, which I know isn't like the end of the world. I can live with those, but it's just like the heart stuff that I was like, oh my gosh. So I decided to be a brand partner and share this opportunity with others at that time because I just can't not share and help other people.
I love that. And I actually think it's a really big deal that you got rid of your hives because that's a reaction, right? And so there's something going on. And actually, my son this summer started utilizing microdosing of GLP-1. He's 21, and it was because our functional doctor, he's had so much like asthma and allergies at college. And she was like, this is actually going to help lower the antihistamines in his body. And I just actually talked to him last week and he was like, it actually hasn't been as bad. I mean, I'm a little stuffy, but nothing like I was the last 2 years. And like they just live in mold infested dorms, right? Like that's just how it is when you go to college. So, plus dust and everything else. So, no, I think it's a really big deal. And I'm so thankful that you shared that because I have talked to a lot of people who've had different things like that, different reactions throughout their life they've just always had to deal with. And this is finally helping. So, I'm so thankful that you shared that. And my story too is about, being able to share with people because of the impact that it's had for me. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer back in 2021 during COVID and had to go through 6 rounds of chemotherapy, a few surgeries. And during that time, after the first round of chemo, I was so sick. And all night long, I was up. And I was like, you know what? Tomorrow, I'm going to work with a functional doctor and a holistic nurse that somebody had referred me. I was like, I'm not going to feel like this for the next 6.5 months. And I don't want my boys to see me like this. And I don't want my husband to see me like this, to be honest. And so the next morning, I called them up and I started working with them. And they incorporated herbs and supplements and other modalities like infrared sauna and acupuncture and all these different things. And I also went completely plant based. And I did not throw up at all the next round of chemo. I actually felt great. The only thing I felt was tired and bald. And I'll never forget my friends saying, like, you're actually glowing. You look better now than you did before. And that really started me down this journey of learning more about preventative health, longevity, integrative medicine, and holistic health. And I was stuck at home during that time because it was COVID and my doctor didn't want me to get out and get sick. And oh, Barbara just said, what did you give your son at college? I gave him a microdose of GLP-1. And so I was literally just like, I'm going to learn as much as I can during this time because I'm stuck at home anyway. So I might as well research, learn as much as I can. And as I was studying a lot of courses on integrative health, preventative health, longevity, peptides kept popping up. But my oncologist wanted me to wait until a year after chemo just to make sure everything was good because he wasn't really familiar with peptides. He's like, I've heard good things, but I don't know enough. Well, immediately when I was done with my surgeries and chemo, I was thrown into menopause and nobody warned me, but I had every single possible symptom. I had itchy skin and itchy ears. I literally felt like ants were crawling on me. I had irritability and anxiety, which I've never had in my whole life. I used to teach kindergarten, so like I'm not somebody that gets irritated very easily. And I also noticed that I wasn't sleeping well at night. I was getting 12 to 15 hot flashes a day, night sweats. I had pain in my hip. I had this weird pain in my feet. And also, I had all kinds of residual chemo issues that were going on. And no matter how good I ate, no matter how much I worked out, no matter how much I took care of my lymphatic system and my nervous system, because I was still doing all those things with my functional doctor, I was gaining weight rapidly. And my functional doctor even said the only thing that's really going to help you right now is GLP-1. And I went in for my 8 month exam with my oncologist, and he was like, oh, your cholesterol is really high and you're gaining a lot of weight. And a side effect of the estrogen blocker that you have to be on post chemo is to have high cholesterol. So I'm just gonna put you on a statin. And I was like, okay, hold on. What's the side effect of the statin? And he goes, yeah, it's like this train you're never gonna get off of. And I was like, well, I'm gonna get off this train now and I'm gonna try peptides and see if it works first. And so the very next day I called up my functional doctor. We started on NAD and glutathione. NAD is cellular regeneration. Tony Robbins calls it the father of anti-aging. It helps with mood, energy, mental clarity. And it's actually a coenzyme, not a peptide, but we just put it in that family because it's very similar. And I also started glutathione, which is a master antioxidant. You heard Beth talk about it. I totally agree with her. Everybody really should be on it. There's actually a scientific journal on our website that you can see on EllieMD.com. Underneath every single one of our products, we literally list the potential benefits and then some scientific journals and medical journals. And there's one that actually talks about how glutathione can keep cancer away because it's keeping away free radicals. It also helps with hair, skin, and nails. It helps boost your immune system and helps you boost antioxidants in your body. So I started on those two things. And by the third injection of both of those, 90% of my menopause symptoms were gone. Like we're talking irritability gone, anxiety gone, hot flashes went down to 2 a day. It was unbelievable. But then I was like, okay, I trust this now. Called up my functional doctor. I'm ready to get on GLP-1. She started me the next week on GLP-1. And within 6.5 months, I dropped 33 pounds of inflammation. And I say inflammation because I felt like I was inflamed. Like I felt like a can of biscuits was about to pop. Like I just could never get myself feeling right. And I've gained and lost weight a lot in my life. I'm 5 feet tall and I have gone up and down 20 pounds a million times. Okay. But I never felt that way before, the way I was feeling. It was just super inflammation. I could tell by the way I felt, the way I looked, puffy. And so when I went in for my blood work after losing that weight, my oncologist and my functional doctor were so excited because my A1C got better, my thyroid health got better, my liver enzymes, which were a mess after chemo, were better, my kidney health was better, my cholesterol went down. But the best one was my cancer marker number. It's an inflammation test called CA125. When I found out I had cancer, it was 168. Post cancer, it was, or post chemo, it was 20 to 25. And since I have been on GLP-1, it has been 7 or 8 for the last 3 years. So my oncologist was like, you got to stay on it. It's working for you. I'm reading more research. I want you to stay on it. And I didn't want to lose any more weight. So I moved over to microdosing myself, working with my functional doctor because I didn't have anyone to order microdose from. Now here at EllieMD, you can actually order microdosing and have a doctor help you with it. And so fast forward, I have been on these peptides now for a while. In August of 2024, I was introduced to EllieMD, and that made my life even easier because I don't have to go into an office. I can literally do everything from my home, but I also know that I am using high quality, good efficacy peptides. We triple purify, which is really important. We do not use research grade. We make sure that everything is processed here in the United States, and an MD is overlooking you, and you have a patient portal. You can ask questions anytime. And so for me, it was perfect. Also, the fact that it was a little bit less expensive than what I was paying at my functional doctor. And like I said, everyone in my family is on it. My husband's on a few peptides that have helped him to heal his gut health, helped him to heal his back, and some other things that he had going on, and my kids too. Tina said, what does triple purify mean? So peptides, a lot of peptides that you can find just online in the gray and black market, like a company like Peptide Science or people like that, they are selling research grade. So they are still researching that peptide and how they're making it. Now, if you do that legally, it's actually not supposed to be for human consumption, but people can buy it. And when they do, they have not been purified, which means they have not been cleaned out a certain way. And if they haven't, they have heavy metals in them. And you could be injecting yourself with heavy metals, which could cause cancer. We don't just purify one time, we purify 3 times. So you can make sure yours are very clean and high quality, which is really important. And so, for me, this is something that I share with people all the time, being a cancer survivor, being somebody who was miserable during menopause and now feels better than ever. I feel like now at 47 years old, I feel better than I did when my kids were little. And I feel like I'm more active physically. I work out almost every single day now. I used to hate working out. I would go because I had to. Now I go because I get to. And I love the way I feel. I love the fact that I have more energy. I love the fact that I have more mental clarity. I love the fact that I just feel good all the time. And it's helped me in all areas of my life. So I know you've heard a few different stories tonight. We would love for you to get some more information. Like I said, for every single peptide that we offer on our website, there is potential benefits, there is medical journals and information with research, and there's also frequently asked questions. And if you want even more information, we host educational series through EllieMD every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we have different doctors, specialists come on and share a little bit about preventative health so we can get you even more information for whatever you're looking for. So get back with the person who invited you. They would love to get you the information that you need. They would love to give you a link to the site so that you can check it out as well. And go do your own research and see what's best for you. So we've got a few minutes. I'm going to stop the recording. If anybody wants to ask a couple questions before we're off at 9:30, feel free.